is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zin Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zin Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Ram is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Ram, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Ram can help.
For over 16 years, EJD Construction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJD Construction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJD Construction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJD Construction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
All righty. Yes, sir. We are here. We are ready to rock and roll from walk-ons in Kendall. Hope you all are doing well. Alarmo is ready. Alarmo's always ready. Don't you notice how he's always jacked? I mean, it's impressive. The arm's always up. You notice that he keeps it up for the entire show. I mean, and today, Alarmo has a big job because it's it's the entire game, it's post, and that arm will never tire. He'll hold up the shield the entire time. Alarmo's a tough guy. We're hoping the Dolphins are just as tough as Alarmo today in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I love it. You know, it's a game that is kind of it's kind of turned the tables a little bit, right? Because it was a game that we used to be terrified of because they used to handle Miami all the time. And the last 2 years, Miami's done a good job of winning those games. And last year was one of the great performances by any quarterback in a Dolphins uniform, not named Marino. And in fact, it was a moment for Tua Tagovailoa where a lot of Dolphin fans kind of said, hey, wow, this guy, this was one of those moments. It's funny because like one of our lovable listeners, Hateful Steve, he's like, well, I want to see Tua, come up with the big performance. Well, that was last year. He did that against the Ravens, and it's funny how we have fans, a lot of you out there, after the Ravens beat the Niners, you're like worried, like, well, the Dolphins can't beat the Ravens. And well, why can't they? They've beaten them the last 2 years. They've beaten them with Brian Flores, who's a terrible coach, who has no offensive mind and no way of building an offensive staff. And they didn't have even barely any offensive weapons. They beat Baltimore 2 years ago with Jalen Waddle being a possession receiver. Okay? So this is not a game. I get it. The Mostert news is terrible, right? But McDaniel, while we all love him and we love his offensive mind, he might frustrate us at times with some Dan Campbell-like moments. You know what I'm saying? Like last week when he should have taken the field goal, then he didn't early in the game, just like Dan Campbell. Take the extra point yesterday, So we love Mike McDaniel, but you also have to understand that he's a coach. And coaches will bullshit us. And that's basically what they were doing, bullshitting us about Raheem Mostert throughout the week and keeping people in the dark. And that's kind of what you do. And you make them prepare for Raheem Mostert. And then, hey, surprise, surprise, no more Mostert last night. And it gets, obviously broken out the news. And it's funny how nobody on the beat knew about it, but it comes out nationally from somebody else. It's just like they got the hookup, man.
Yeah, that, and I think everybody got hoodwinked by McDaniel being so open on everything, right?
Yes, yeah, that's the problem, and you should not. Mm-hmm. You should not.
Kind of got hoodwinked, I believe, on this one.
He's still a coach in the end, and he cannot tell you everything, and that's just his job, that he cannot. He has to lie to you at times. You know what I'm saying? And I've been talking about this for the last 2 games, and I'm hoping that today is the day where we see more Chris Brooks. So today you're going to definitely see more Achan. You're going to see more Jeff Wilson, and I think you're going to need to see some Chris Brooks today against the Baltimore Ravens. And it's really nice to have Chris Brooks. Again, the depth of this team. Remember, we talked about it way in training camp. We told you ahead of time, hey, man, I think they're going to keep 5 running backs this year. They're going to run more, and they have run more compared to last year where they were, I don't know, were they dead last or second to last in attempts or something like that? They were terrible. For a team that can run, they didn't run enough. This year, they have changed their tune, and this is why you kept Chris Brooks for moments like this. And you got to understand also that Achan has not proven to be a durable player. Okay? He's not a big run. Go out there. Look, even Mostert, once you start getting to the 16, 17 carry mark, that's kind of like the threshold. Once you start getting into 18 and 20 with Mostert, you start gambling with his health because he's also not a guy that throughout his career has been a workhorse type, right? And he has, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's proven me wrong in the sense that he can run tougher than what it seems. Because we all, most of us at least, I know I did, looked at him like a speed back, like a finesse back. And he has a lot of physicality to him. He's not the physical, like, bruising type of back, but he brings the hammer every once in a while. You know what I mean? And I've been very impressed with that with Mostert. But the bugaboo for Mostert has always been a certain amount of carries. You gotta make sure you keep him under to try to keep him as fresh as possible because he does get banged up. And I'm sure, by the way, it didn't help when, Teron Armstead's 300-pound ass fell on him too. That probably did not help much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. But so today, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the running backs. Hey, look, today it's about coaching. There are days that you're going to have to do things. And stuff's going to happen, and you got to win your 325th game, and you got to start Doug Peterson at quarterback. And sometimes you're stuck in a season with Woodstock. You don't really have a quarterback, but you got to make the best of it. And sometimes you're getting up to a national championship game, and your star middle linebacker, George Myra Jr., gets suspended, and they give you a young and untested named Bernard Tiger Clark, and you got to find a way to coach it up and overcome and win. So I've watched, and I can just give you example after example after example of moments where coaches had to overcome injuries and players that are missing and those kind. The Ravens are missing a bunch of players. J.K. Dobbins out for the season. Michael Keaton, who is having a terrific year, out for the season. Devin Duvernay is also on the IR. Mark Andrews is on the IR. They got a couple of their starting linebackers, middle linebackers are on the IR. Ravens are missing people. And today, I think Zay Flowers is playing. Kyle Hamilton is the one that could be out. He's questionable with the knee. I think Zay is going to end up playing when it's all said and done. But we'll find out. The inactives haven't come out yet. And when they do, Sean Stanley will have them for us.
There was a tweet at 10:25 this morning from Emmanuel Ogba.
Oh, yes?
That said, wow, LOL. That's all he said.
Okay.
So I'm guessing he may be on the inactive list again.
He might be on the active list, you're saying?
He might be on the inactive list.
Oh, inactive. Okay.
What else do you tweet at 10:25 in the morning? That's about when you're getting to the stadium.
Javon Holland's playing.
Okay. All right. Maybe. Everybody on X and Twitter is taking it as
because I don't think Holland's playing. I don't think Hunt and Holland are playing because they didn't really practice throughout the week. And the man's coming back from 2 sprained MCLs. So that would be my wow. because I would say, wow, if I hear that Javon Holland is playing. Because a guy that hasn't practiced and hasn't played in a month, I have a hard time I have a hard time putting Javon Holland out on the field when he hasn't had a good week of practice and he's missed a month, just like Robert Hunt. I'm expecting those two to be inactive, but if you tell me Agba tweeted out, wow, if he put just wow, then either he's playing anyways. He should be playing this week. Oh, well, wait a minute. They did activate the linebacker Melvin Ingram, so they might want the linebacker over the end in this case because you might need the extra blitzer and some help against the run since you are facing the run. That's not really what you get Agba for. That could be the wow. The wow could be that Melvin Ingram got activated and is playing over Emmanuel Agba. That could be the wow right there. Or, wow for me, I'm telling you right now, I will be wowed if I hear that Robert Hunt or Javon Holland are playing. Absolutely wowed. I would be. That's for sure. Remember, we're at Walk-Ons in Kendall. Jeff from Long Island already is here with his lovely wife, Sharon. And look at how cool, dude. They brought me a Dolphins semi classic logo. He knows. Jeff knows me well. Look at that. I really got to fix you guys are pressuring me. I have so many things I have to put on display. And this will definitely be one of them. Die-cast collectibles and everything. But Jeff, I'm going to keep this thing forever. You know me. I'm not out to sell anything. Anything Dolphins I keep till the day I die. Okay? Whoever's left over, then, my kid, whoever, my wife, they can do whatever they want with it after that. But for me, that is awesome. 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 And thank you all. You all are so kind to both me and Sean on the show. We really appreciate it. We got some super chats already. Thank you. As always, remember Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Leon Fresco says, I will only be sad if we get blown out or if Tua has a chance to win the game and blows it. If Lamar drives them at the end, these things happen. Yeah, I get it, but we got to win today, bro. We got to win today. All right? We got to win today. I need to be in Vegas. I need to go to a Super Bowl. I need to watch my Dolphins win a Super Bowl. We got to win today. Got to find a way to win today. This is the biggest game for the Dolphins in 30 years. And on top of all of this, not only is it the biggest game in 30 years, it's probably the most meaningful game in 30 years. I really want to see this team cross the threshold. I've told you this many times over, haven't I? I want young fans to experience greatness. They don't know anything about it. I do because I'm old enough and I've experienced it and watched it and all that stuff. I was really young when they won the championships. Okay, so I'd really like to win a championship when I'm older and really appreciate it more than when I'm 8 years old or 7. But I really want to see, greatness for you young people out there because anybody under 40 hasn't experienced real greatness with the Dolphins at all. You know what I mean? They haven't seen anything. Oh, hello. Yanira in the house. So, I really want it for young fans. You guys deserve it. Mateo, thank you for the love on Super Chat. Appreciate it. He says, McD finally unleashes Claypool today. I hope so. I hope so, man. I hope so in a big-time way. Miles Deep was first in from Vegas. And that's in front of Jamie Zorrilla, usually in San Jose, huh? Brian Walters there, Giovanni. Reggie is from Bahrain. Good evening from Bahrain. Happy New Year, and let's go Fins. Yeah, why is it like is it like 12 hours ahead of us in Bahrain? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's 11:15, so it's like 11:15 at night, 12 o'clock at night over there. Wow. All right. That is pretty cool. From Bahrain, man. That is awesome. Thank you. I'm flattered. We're flattered. Damn it, man. It's good. Bradley Maddox says going to be tough up there today in Baltimore, but I can't wait for this game. I'm 100% bought in with this coaching staff and the chemistry and the team. Injuries are not the excuse. Fins up. That's right. Got to find a way to get it done. Got to do it, man. Got to do it. Let's see. That's badass shit. Oh wow, I got to get me one of those. It is. It's really nice, isn't it? It's really, really nice. Maybe tomorrow we won't have a show. I may do like some kind of a small little hit or something, but Sean deserves it off, and who knows? We might be in for a hell week because they might be, flexing our Sunday game to Sunday night, and then Sean and I will have a real brutal next Monday. So I'm figuring that this time we go a little easy on it.
The Dolphins are going to help us out. They're going to win today. That game means they're going for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, no, it's everything.
But it means nothing for the conference. We're still going to get flexed. Damn it!
No, it's going to get flexed because if they win, it'll get flexed. Because the game will mean so much, everything will be on the line. The number 1 seed, the whole deal, dude. I know. I feel you, brother. I feel you. I really do. But we got to be honest. Oh, what's for lunch today? Maybe some gator bites here at Walk-Ons. Maybe some mozzarella logs. The greatest. I mean, you can have mozzarella sticks anywhere else you want. You can only get mozzarella logs here at Walk-Ons. And those things are seasoned it's addicting. Okay? It is just the greatest mozzarella. They're not sticks, they're logs. And they're delicious, bro. I'm telling you. So there's some good lunch set up, my brother. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let me get to the other one. Vinny says, how much of a problem will Ravens 2 stud linebackers for Miami's offense? Vinny, it'll be up to Miami to put a hat on them. Get an offensive lineman on their ass. A fullback, a tight end. That's what's going to have to happen, my brother. You're going to have to put a hat on people. Offensive line's going to have to do their job. Everybody's going to have to do their job, my friend. This is, what are they going to do about Chubb? You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do about Tyreek? So everybody's got things that you've got to worry about. Patrick Queen is a hell of a player, and I get it, man. But, we got our own guys, too. What are they going to do about AVG, baby? Huh? What are they going to do when the Golden Locks is coming for you? Cream de la Clutch Exotics. Thank you for the love and the super chat, my brother. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dolphins, 49ers in the Super Bowl. I love it. I love it. Revenge for 85. We get a championship. Tua gets a title. That way we get all the Tua haters completely just shut up already. Leave us alone and go away. It's a beautiful thing. And Sean and I are in Vegas to witness it. I got to tell you something. This would be my favorite sports year of all time. Because we started the year at the Hall of Fame with Zach, bro. And we ended with a Super Bowl win in Las Vegas with the team. I mean, you can't write a better story than that, dude. You cannot write a better story than that. It would be my most favorite scene. And the fact that he and I get to do this every day at our own will, and you guys support us and help this platform grow, and we bring you the news and breaking news a lot of times, a lot of breaking news, more than most people locally. So, together, this is fun, man. This is fun. So I can't wait for this. It's going to be a lot of fun today.
Not Dolphins related, but you hear about what happened with the Commanders and their quarterback situation? You know, they were going to start Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
And something happened to his hamstrings in practice. He's now inactive. Is that not your body talking to you?
Wow, yeah.
He's now the third string quarterback, and they're going to start Sam Howell today again.
Wow. Okay. That poor kid's been benched twice already this year.
But Jacoby Brissett's they're like, your body's just telling you, like, okay.
Yeah. How about your conditioning, brother? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's not good. It's not, dude, it's a quarterback. You're not really doing so much. But now he did run around a lot in the last game. Because you know how it is. Jacoby's not going to, read right away. It's going to take him a little while to decipher and figure things out. He's a little slow in delivery, so he has to run around and buy himself some time. So I know he did run around a little bit.
It's the poor man's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Very poor. Very poor. Yes. McDaniel needs to call the right plays, and the offense needs to execute those plays. Yeah, and he needs to take points when they're there. Okay? Especially on the road today, I need him to make all the right decisions. I mean, this is what this game is all about, folks. Right? For some of you, it's, I got to see Tua in a big moment. Well, I know he did this already last year in the same city against the same team, but whatever. Anyway, or, hey, McDaniel, last year in Buffalo, you screwed up in the most important moment in the game. You couldn't get a play call in on time. You didn't even know what the down was. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that can't happen. And last week, he screwed up early. And by the way, those 3 points early that he didn't take, it mattered at the back end of that game, didn't it? Big time. So you've got to – this is a game for Mike McDaniel. This is a game where you see Pat Riley take on Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen with Rex Chapman and the boys and 8 players. You know what I'm saying? That's what this game's about. This game is the game where you're like, we're starting a goalie named Alex Lyon. Yeah, he's going to get us in the playoffs. Anybody remember that? Didn't that just happen last year? That a 4th string goaltender ended up putting the Panthers in the playoffs. Listen to me. A 4th string goalie got you into the playoffs, which then led to the Stanley Cup. How screwed up is that? That's pretty screwed up. But you did it, right? You overcame it. And that's what coaching is all about. These are the moments that Mike McDaniel will earn his stripes. These are the moments that you're going to say, this guy can coach, bro. Remember that time we were in Baltimore with the number 1 seed on the line, and he coached his ass off. Why do you think young people, I know you get tired of hearing us old people talk about Shula. Why do you think that is? Because we watched those kind of moments with that guy all the time. All the time. Just because he had an injury, just because he had 4 injuries, just because he was missing this or missing that. You know, Shoes was Spo before Spo was Spo. So for those of you, I know some of you watch because it's the Dolphins and you might be living in other places in the country or the world and you don't really follow all South Florida teams. But Eric Spoelstra, will he ever tell you that an injury that it affected the game? Ever? What's his line? What's his 3 words? We have. You can't finish the one?
Enough?
Exactly. Anyway, Spo will always say we have enough. We have enough. We have enough. Spo, but wait a minute, dude. You've got 4 guys out there with 1 leg each and 1 arm each. We got enough. We didn't hop around the right way. We got enough. We got enough. That's what Spo will tell you. Well, that was Shula. Shula never got up to any podium and said, well, I'm playing with Woodstock. I'm not playing really with 1 quarterback. No. He'll get you to the Super Bowl. Oh, you're coaching scabs? Okay, you'll be the least penalized team in the league. That shit happened all the time. All the time with him. This is Mike McDaniel's moment to be like Spo. This is Mike McDaniel's moment to be like Shula, to be like Jim Larinaga. Some of the great coaches that we've had in this town that show you consistently that they can overcome adversity. And this is why this moment today is incredibly important for Mike McDaniel. And by the way, a win adds to your legacy and your reputation. So you're a bright mind. Everybody knows it. Other coaches are copying your plays. Players around the league are watching their coaches copy your plays. They're probably even showing how Miami executes the play that they're copying. So ultimate flattery is happening all over the place for Mike McDaniel. But you've got to move on from being just a play designer to being a head coach. And so far, he's done a marvelous job because his team is now headed to the playoffs 2 years in a row, and he's only been a coach for 2 years. Is he perfect? No. He makes his mistakes. We know it. He has some warts. These are the moments. These are the moments where you erase those warts. These are the moments where you say, he's growing up. He's getting it done. This is the kind of guy that can be like Spo, can be like Don Shula, can be like Pat Riley, can be like Jim Larinaga. We got one. We finally got one. And that's what we're waiting for, And today is a beautiful day for this. Absolutely beautiful day for it. Let me check here a second. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And as always, you can make yourself a Bitcoin donation. We love our Bitcoin donations. By the way, I love that this morning I'm watching Alethea Liquid Intelligence Token. It is up nearly 11%. Yeah. A little crypto love there, just in case if you got a couple of folks out there riding it. And by the way, Neutron's also up from its dip there from 106, 107, 108. It's at 116, so that is good too. So it's nice to see a little crypto love, especially Alethea Liquid Intelligence Token that I've been waiting for it for a while. Ryan Carlson says, I'm calm and confident the Dolphins win, possibly Claypool game as well. I hope so. Miami Papo says, we're watching history in the making. And Kyle Hamilton is out, apparently. Is that what I'm getting right now? I am getting that. I am getting that Kyle Williams is inactive, and that is absolutely enormous. Kyle Hamilton, I'm sorry. That is huge. Huge. Because I think Zay is going to end up playing, but Kyle was the one that, I got to tell you, that's one that I'm really actually jacked about, if that's the truth. Okay? Inactives are out.
They are
got?
out. We
What do
got, of course, wide receiver Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
Running back Raheem Mostert.
Okay.
Offensive lineman Robert Hunt. Tight end Tyler Croft. Defensive end Emmanuel Ogba.
Okay.
And QB Skylar Thompson, which, of course, is the third string quarterback.
So, no Javon Holland.
No Javon Holland.
He's playing.
And Cameron Wolf earlier said Austin Jackson was probably starting today.
No,
But I mean,
you knew he was playing. He was
I
active
knew he was
last
going to
week.
play. Yeah, but they
did the whole thing of getting him
Yeah.
a whole week of practice and getting him in shape. This is why I am shocked, pleasantly, and a little concerned. I mean, Javon Holland better be looking good. Okay, that's 2 sprained MCLs. Listen, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to give the Dolphins the benefit of the doubt, because they have taken precaution throughout this whole thing. So this tells me that Javon Holland must have looked good in practice this week. No matter what the limited crap says or whatever, all that, give me a break, dude. None of us are there. When the lights go out, none of us are there. We don't see it. The media doesn't see anything, by the way. Okay? Don't ever let anybody in the media tell you, I watch practice. No, you don't. You watch the 15 minutes of stretching. You watch nothing in practice. You see nothing. You know nothing. They're all a bunch of Schultzes, which is probably a reference that's way too old for most of you, except, of course, a certain group of folks that understand that. Okay? Beat writers don't see shit of practice, so they don't know anything. And players could put on an act for them in the stretching moments. Hey, media's going to be out here. Act like you can walk around at least somewhat normal. So they think that you're, closer to playing this week. And, whatever. Or act like you're not, so they think you're not playing and you really are playing. So, listen, I've been at this for 33 years. There's a reason why the entire media contingent gets to see 15 minutes of practice, and they didn't know their Mostert wasn't playing. Okay? Yeah.
Ravens inactives are out.
And Williams is out.
Kyle Hamilton's out.
Hamilton is out.
Yep. Cornerback Brandon Stevens. Cornerback Demarion Williams. Guard Kevin Zeitler. Guard Salah Amalaya. QB Josh Johnson is their third quarterback, but then they also have QB Malik Cunningham on the inactive as well.
So Zay is playing. That's what I figured.
Like Zay's going to give it a go?
Yeah, Zay's going to play. I figured he would play. Plus, it's Miami. It's his hometown team, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? He's got to play. Javon could be, radio host. You could be right. He could be Austin Jackson part 2, right? But here's the thing. You're taking up a 45-man roster spot. So if you activated him, it's wow, to just have him standing there. That's kind of brutal. I know this. He must have practiced a lot because I would not use him to shadow Lamar coming back from being out for a month. But if they do that, then that tells me he's been practicing for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Cam Wolf said Dolphins safety Javon Holland is active. Watched him in pregame workout, and he gave me the thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, so, they've been bullshitting us. Probably set out last week. Yeah, he probably last week it was his limited week, and then this week, while it said limited, he was probably going all out, and he looked good. It has to be. How do you play a guy that hasn't really practiced for a month or really hasn't practiced? Come on, man. I mean, are we born yesterday on this? So let's see what happens. Even Hard Knocks is kicked out of many. Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. You don't see Fangio ever. Fangio's room is never shown. Hey, Fangio doesn't allow anything. You see the QB room. They'll show you the QB room. But they won't show you. They'll show you the linebacker room with what is it? Campile or Campanelli. They'll show you a Campanelli. Oh, I mean, it's obvious. You don't see the old man at all. He doesn't allow any of that. Jeff Wilson is hungry, hoping he gets his yeah, listen, no doubt. I hope so too. But I got to tell you something. I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. I want to see Chris Brooks, dude. I want to see Chris Brooks. That's what I want to see. I need more Chris Brooks with the Chan. I think Chris Brooks can really help out. I like Jeff Wilson. He's the worst back on the team right now. And he's a good back. He's the worst back on the team. I'll tell you that I think Chris Brooks is a better football player. Okay? But he's young and unproven and all that. But from what I see, I like his vision better than Jeff Wilson. I like his speed better than Jeff Wilson. He runs hard like Jeff Wilson. He can block like Jeff Wilson. But, hopefully I could see a little bit of that. Todd says you're not going to see it. You might be right, Todd. You might be right. You never know. Let's see. Why you say it about Jeff? Because it's a talented group now. He's number 5. I mean, it is what it is, dude. He's a good back, but he's like the 5th best back now on this team. Just being honest. Huh?
It's not a bad thing. It's just, 1, he was injured. He's coming off injury. And 2, those guys just stepped up.
Yeah, and Jeff is a little bit more limited than those guys.
Yeah. Oh, no, speed-wise, definitely. But he's got that power, and he's almost got what we use from Mostert. When he gets that big run, he gets up and he gives the yell, and he gets the players going. That's what Jeff Wilson fumbles a little bit more. But
yeah.
But again, that's what I feel like we're going to miss with Mostert, though.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the running and all that, because that gets made up by a Chan and some of the other guys. It's that it's not leadership. It's the bring in, get everybody fired up and on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you can't handle the honesty, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So another awesome shirt by Big O the other day with the Mike Damone shirt. Oh, you like that? You noticed that, huh? Yeah. If you need, I saw the shirt, concert tickets. I've been to a couple concerts, so I figured that's the kind of shirt I would wear, right there. That's what I said. I said to myself, that's your shirt right there, dude. You need to get that shirt. And so we had to have it. Just like we're watching Alethea up 10.5%. Look out, we are blowing up. Just for fun, anybody out there on the Alethea bandwagon there? We got almost 600 people. I know we got more of you crypto guys on there now. Now, some of you are now finally believing. It's kind of like Tua, right? First 2 years on this platform, I only had a certain amount of you guys with me on Tua. Whole bunch of you were off the Tua bandwagon, nothing, jamming on the kid. And I'm telling you, he's a freaking stud. He's a franchise player. And so now a lot of you have, come on over, right? So for about 3 years now, I've been telling you about what was coming with crypto. And most of you did not believe me. But now over the last couple of months, you guys are like opening up your eyes. You're watching that, it's happening. And you're like, maybe he was right about that thing. So Sneak Attack says, Ali. Oh, and Neutron. You got on Neutron, Sneak Attack. You're a good man. Neutron. And if you bought the dip, you're already up. If you bought the dip, which I think you did. I think you told me I think on Twitter you told me also. Anyway, Baltimore is a scary team, but it's our defense plays like it's been. We'll be fine. Let me ask you something. Why aren't the Dolphins scary? I this whole physical bullshit this entire week, and it's like we're a top 5 running team. We're a top 5 defense. How do you not do that without physicality? I don't understand that. They hammered the end of that game against the Cowboys last week. How is that not a physical way to end the game? The aforementioned Jeff Wilson, was that not a display of physical blocking, running, closing out that game? It's really interesting how perception is not really reality. And so because Baltimore is rugged, they're tough, right? And they've had this whole thing for years because they've had the same culture in place. Yeah, I get it. Miami has it, right? So in the 70s, we had that rugged, tough thing. With Dan Marino, we were kind of finesse. With Jimmy and Wanstead, we were tough defensively, but we weren't tough offensively. And then now it's like Baltimore's scary. Isn't Tyreek scary? Tua Tagovailoa, so a quarterback that's thrown 4,214 yards, he completes it at 70%, 26 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's not scary? And so I'm not exactly sure. Is it fun to face Bradley Chubb? Do you not have to pay attention to Andrew Van Ginkel? Is Javon Holland not one of the 3 best safeties in the NFL?
Yep.
I'm just wondering, is Jalen Ramsey not like one of the best corners in the world?
Yep.
So I'm not exactly sure about this. So Zach Sealer, does he play soft?
Nope.
Okay. Christian Wilkins, soft too?
Nope.
So I'm trying to figure this out. How are the Dolphins not scary? Why? Because you keep worrying about 5 years ago and 10 years ago, when this doesn't resemble anything of those teams that weren't scary. So I'm not exactly sure how a team that's top 5 in everything is not scary. I don't know how their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator aren't just as concerned as Miami's. That's the interesting part. It's your perception is only because of your past. And you allow the past to be a part of your opinion in the present. It's weird. We can't be physical and we can't be scary. Only the Ravens can be physical. Only the Ravens can be scary. Yet they've lost to the Dolphins the last 2 years. Even when the Dolphins weren't scary 2 years ago. How does that work out?
It's what you said. It's the looking at the past. I mean, look at the teams that they say are physical. I mean, the Steelers are not. I mean,
they're nothing nowadays.
But they were.
Right.
It's looking at the past and bringing that and giving those.
Right.
Once the teams get labeled physical, no matter what, you can't apparently lose that label because you're always physical.
Right.
Whereas the Dolphins have never really been that physical team. One, because we haven't had the linemen or scary, so now we will never be because they'll just constantly move the goalposts.
Exactly.
Because
when
we beat those physical teams, they'll just say, well, they're not as physical as they used to be.
Right.
Or whatever. So then we still don't get to become physical.
It's the funniest thing out there. And that's because the talking heads aren't really paying attention. And some of you fans, you just live in the past, man. I keep trying to tell you that all the time, right? Brother, forget the past already. Leave it behind. That's why it's the past. Don't bring the baggage with it. We don't need it. This isn't Dave Wanstead walking the sidelines, running his fingers through his hair. You know? This isn't Joe Philbin picking up papers from the ground. You don't have John Beck at quarterback or Cleo Lemon. You know? So let's leave the past where it belongs. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Let's do our 3A Graphics sports calendar, sir. Had a lot going on yesterday. Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah, custom printing and embroidery. Call them 786-618-1443. Yesterday, see, the live line, I got screwed yesterday, all right? Because I can tell you always when I win, right? Let's tell you when I lose, too. No, not the FSU game, no. The Heat, actually, towards the end, they got plus 5.5, and I go, oh, man, they'll keep it closer, maybe even win or whatever, and they ended up losing 117 or 109, and I ended up losing that live line bet right there in the back end. By the way, Jimmy got hurt again, unfortunately. Tyler Hero had 25 points, Bam had 28, and Jaquez struggled. It was a rough one last night, so they lost 117 to 109. They will take on the Clippers tomorrow at 10:30. Panthers are kicking some ass, man. They defeated the Canadians 4-1. Listerine, it's good for the breath. He also had 2 goals yesterday. Verhage had a goal and assist. Tuesday, they take on the Coyotes on the road from Arizona. FAU, number 7 in the country, lost to Florida Gulf Coast yesterday. 92-68 drops FAU to 10-3. And I'm sure it's going to drop their rankings, too, at the same time. Nova Southeastern, give them love as they beat Embry-Riddle 94-79. Nova Southeastern is 10-0, 4-0 in the Sunshine State. 46 consecutive wins since the beginning of the 22-23 season. 62 straight regular season wins and 44 consecutive Sunshine State Conference wins. It's amazing. Coach Crutchfield is killing it. Wednesday, they're at Florida Southern at 7:30. Cowboys last night defeated the Lions because Dan Campbell is a knucklehead and refused to go for an extra point. The football gods gave them signals over and over again. If the penalty and if the what was it? It was a penalty. And then the other one was that they called back the touchdown, the 2-point conversion after the guy caught it. If that didn't give you the signal to not go for it the third time, I can't help you, my brother. Yes.
That one call there has created a whole uproar.
Yeah, because the video shows 68 actually walking up to the referee, but we don't know.
What he said in the pool report was that 70 had checked in 2 other times as the guy. But what happened was, I guess, Dan Campbell went up to the refs before the game. I guess when you have – I remember back in Little League in high school, you had to go up to the officials and be like, hey, we're running this trick play, da-da-da-da-da-da. So what it was 68 was going to walk up and check in or whatever, deem, eligible. But 70 was still going to walk toward him to make it look like he was checking in again. So then they would think 70 was the guy, and then 68 would end up being the guy on the trick play. Apparently, the ref said, no, 70 checked in, 68 didn't.
Right.
And 70 is saying, I never said a word to him on this play. 68 saying he did, and the video shows him walking over. So I don't know, maybe if the official just heard checking in and just automatically assumed, hey, it's 70.
Right.
and went with it. Yeah, but now there's a whole thing like they're looking into them. It's the same crew. Eagles 10 penalties, Dolphins 0.
Right.
And then also there's been like 3 other instances where this officiating team has had mishaps.
Fire them. That's all. Fire their asses. There's no accountability in this world. But I saw the video, and we don't know. Now it's a he said crap is what ends up happening here. So Cowboys defeated the Lions 20-19. Dan Campbell still should have gone for that extra point, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Are you kidding me? Dak Prescott, by the way, give him love. That dude played well, man. He played well last week against the Dolphins, and yesterday was clutch as hell. Yesterday, I gotta say, and even Goff, man, had his moments. I know he made some mistakes with that one interception by Williams. I think it was the kid. What an interception, dude! Wow, holy shit. It's crazy. Anyway, that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call my guy, Alan Blanco, if your company needs custom printing and embroidery. They are amazing, man. They do great work, as always, like all of our sponsors, man. If they're with us, it's because I believe in them. They do amazing work, like Cutter's Edge Pro, Acura Pembroke Pines. I mean, it's just the way it is. Perdomo Cigars, all of that, man. Which, by the way, give Nova Southeastern a victory cigar, man. They deserve it, dude. They deserve it in a big-time way. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. Christian DiMartino, thank you for the love on Venmo, my friend. Says, happy and healthy new year to you and your family. I'm hosting this evening. My wife is on the edge. Let's get this W. We don't pull this off. She knows the mood I will be in. Let's go. They're going to pull it off, Christian. They're going to pull it off, my brother. Hang in there, okay? They'll get it done. I believe in them.
Can I say something before everybody jumps on me?
Yes.
That is not a typo in the wins-losses for this matchup, by the way. This is from the last 2 matchups. We're 2-0. The Ravens are 0-2.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm going off of.
Yep. So that is good. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Not just Tua that has to step up. The O-line needs to keep Tua from getting hit. The Ravens are coming for Tua. We better block or we will get destroyed. Well, that's any quarterback, my brother. You know what I mean? You gotta definitely take care of every quarterback out there. Any quarterback that gets hit is done. There's no, unless you're a running quarterback, and then that's kind of part of your game. But most pocket passers, you get to Brady and you get him uncomfortable and get him running and get him off his pocket. You got a nice long day and you got a great chance to win. And that was with any quarterback. That's not just a Tua thing. So, hey, nothing's changed. Get rid of the ball quickly. Make quick reads. The real challenge, it's not just Tua. It's not just the offensive line. It's not just Mike McDaniel. It's who's the second receiver and the third receiver. Guys have to step up and make plays. Guys have to get open. And Tua has to do a good job of using Tyreek also as a decoy and get others involved in this game. From Craycraft to Claypool to Cedric, whoever, man, whoever dresses, whoever the hell is out there. If Sean's out there, wide receiver. If Nat Moore, lines up again. I'm getting a little crazy here. Relax. But you know what I'm saying? That's really the part that needs to step up. And McDaniel This has to be his best X's and O's game of his career. Just like next week, I'm going to say this one has to be better than last week's because the stakes are only getting bigger now. This week, the number one position's on the line, and next week, you're trying to seal the number one position. Pretty simple. So it only gets bigger. McDaniel has to be the guy that calls an absolutely perfect game today. So I don't put it all on Tua or the offensive line or McDaniel. That's obvious. And Tyreek, that's obvious. I need to see the other guys. A Chan has to step up. Running back, receiver. Jeff Wilson has to step up. Running back, maybe a little receiver. Smythe has to step up. And then every other receiver that is active opposite of Tyreek got to find ways to make plays. I put it on those guys. And then, by the way, special teams. They were pretty special last week, right? You need Jason Sanders. We hope that last week is what triggers that he's back and he's got his mojo back. But then on top of all of that, the return game's got to be spot on and the coverage game has got to be spot on. You cannot allow them to get short fields. So special teams is something that's going to be incredibly important today. Look, man, you got a break. What Stevenson is out, their corner, their safety is out. Hamilton,
one of their better guards is out.
One of their better guards, Seitler, right, or whatever, out. So you're missing a corner, you're missing a safety, you're missing an offensive lineman. Plus, they've already got other people that were already on the IR, like Dobbins. Michael Keaton was having one hell of a year. He was probably one of the steals of the draft, to be quite honest. Duvernay, Mark Andrews. Baltimore's got their injuries too. So no excuses. Everyone else has got to find a way to step up. All right, let's take a break. Get ready for hour number 2. Get ready for a little Solo D. We'll do that. We're here at Walk-Ons in Kendall. We'll have prizes all throughout the game. At the end of the first quarter, end of the second, throughout halftime, in other words, end of the third, and the 2-minute warning. Got Caneswear, Perdomo prizes, and a bunch of buckets back there. And we'll have Big O T-shirts, all of that. Wife is bringing all that stuff. So we'll have all of that ready to give away throughout the game. So appreciate all of you out there. Hour number 2 is next on the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show from Walk-Ons in Kendall.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDConstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins pregame show with Orlando Alzugari.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Welton Ram has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Ram, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Ram can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Ram can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJD Construction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJD Construction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame show on the Sports Talk. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Elzugari.
It's game time, we gotta win. Let's whoop that team, we gotta win. It's game time, we gotta win. You want the ring, you gotta win. Oh yeah. Listen up, we represented for a minute, bruh. Yeah, you gotta grind to get the wins up. No, they can't break, can't bend us. You gon' fuck around, you gon' find out. Make the other team call a timeout. We put pressure on the wide eye. And anybody's house is a wipe out. Hey, anybody house is a wipe out. Oh yeah. It's game time, we gotta win. Let's whoop that team, we gotta win. It's game time, we gotta win. You want the ring, you gotta win. Oh yeah.
Miami sports music.
Run that dude back. Win. Let's whoop that team, we gotta win. It's game time, we gotta win. You want the ring, you gotta win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want the ring, you gotta win. Oh yeah. Ooh, that. So low, deep. So low, deep.
Solo D bringing it. Love it. We are here at Walk-Ons in Kendall. And we'll take you here, getting you ready for the kickoff between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. So it looks like Javon Holland is playing, man. I am shocked. And I'll really be shocked if he's starting and he's flying around. That's going to tell me that he's been practicing for a while. That's what that's going to tell me. Anyway, being in Baltimore, I hope Biden's not giving the pep talk. Biden has no pep. You can't give a pep talk when you have no pep. When you're already kind of dead, it's hard to have any pep. So, yeah, no, that would not be very uplifting today. No, that would not be. Yes.
No, again, the source, not a good one, but I found this funny this morning because they were talking about Bill Belichick, not Dolphins related, but they were talking about if he steps down, you know who the two possibly leading candidates would be?
Oh, if Biden steps down?
No.
Oh.
Belichick. Sorry.
Oh, Belichick. Okay.
Did I say Biden? I meant to say Belichick.
Okay, no, you were inspiring me. Okay,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Belichick, what? What was
If
it?
he steps down, who the top 2 candidates may be?
To replace Belichick?
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo's the one that they've been talking about, like, but is he ready and can he build a staff? And they want to go trade for Mike Vrabel.
No, it's Josh McDaniels and Brian Flores
Oh, Jesus.
to replace Bill Belichick. The Patriots collapse continues, baby.
God, I hope they do that.
I was like, this is great.
Who reported that shit?
Your buddy at ML.
Oh, ML football, but did he? But they're not.
But he
really,
usually takes reports from other people.
right.
I forgot who it was.
They're like he's like Ari Merav or whatever.
Yeah,
like
he takes from others.
they're aggregators.
Yeah.
They're not. They break
that's
no
why
stories.
they break no. They take what somebody else wrote and then put their spin on it a little bit. So yeah. So I saw when I was going through waiting for the Dolphins. I was like, I'm gonna put that in the back of the mind because I just thought it's so hilarious. You go from Belichick, and then you bring in Flores and McDaniels. So that tells me that Belichick's staying the GM.
I don't know.
That's the only way you bring in Flores and McDaniels, right? Belichick brings them in himself.
That would be just absolutely stupid. But hey, thank you. Yes.
Kraft, what are you thinking?
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess some of you are just tuning in. Yes, Hamilton is out. Yes, we've been talking about that. Hamilton is out. Their corner is also out. Stevens, the guards, Seitler is out. They're missing a couple really. They're missing a bunch of people, just like the Dolphins. No excuses. Find a way to win. That's all. They got a bunch of injuries. Miami's got a bunch of injuries. That's all. You know what I mean? So it's all good. But that would be hilarious if they actually bring any of those clowns back to coach there. Kraft should know better than he should flush that out already. Move on, turn the page. But hey, please bring Flores or McDaniel. I would love that. That'd be fantastic. If Tua is not the MVP, should be comeback player of the year. What did he come back from? He played great last year. He just missed a couple of games at the end. That's not really the definition of comeback player of the year, my brother. I don't think you know what the comeback player of the year is. Somebody that's completely missed football, was out for the whole year. Not somebody that had a great year and then missed the back end of the year. Not somebody that was in the MVP race last year and then got injured and missed 5 games. 5 games is not comeback player of the year stuff, So he has no shot at comeback player of the year. He doesn't deserve comeback player of the year. Trying to think of who would be my comeback. What would be a great example of comeback player of the year? Jared Goff, but he kind of started it last year. And then this year he's really established himself. See, somebody that's been shitty and then all of a sudden became really good, that could be a comeback, but not Goff. I need something better. There's got to be if the Hamlin kid from Buffalo, if he would have come back to actually play a lot this year and be a starter, he could have been comeback player of the year. That's a comeback player of the year, my man. God, let me see. Flacco is not bad. It's only a few. Austin Jackson, dude. That's a comeback player of the year. That's a comeback player of the year right there, baby. Holy crap. Jeff, if you were here, I'd give you a shirt right now. Okay?
You know what the problem is the odds, because I guarantee you,
player.
A lot of these probably look at the betting odds.
That's a good one.
And if you look at the betting odds, Tua is the 5th to win comeback player of the year.
Baker.
Yeah.
Baker is a really good one. Might be number 1 because it's a quarterback.
Well, no, the odds are right now, at least this, let me make sure this article is printed December 30th, as of yesterday.
Okay.
DeMar Hamlin had the best odds at -165.
Why? Because he just came back? That's it?
Just because he died.
Yeah, I know. But
I'm saying, I guess because he came. Again, that's where the reason they're doing this because Tua was in the. That's why I looked it up because I saw him in the talk for comeback player of the year. It was DeMar Hamlin and Tua were in the comeback player because
I
Tua
wouldn't
with
give
the-
it to Tua.
with the concussions and DeMar. That's what they were saying. That's where they were saying he's coming back
I
from
wouldn't
the-
give it to DeMar either. He hasn't
concussions.
come back completely. He was a backup and barely
I
played.
agree. Joe Flacco is second with plus 130.
That's good.
Mayfield is third with plus 1,200.
I actually would give it to Mayfield because he played a whole season and has played well, dude. I got better than I ever thought he would, by the way.
Crazy. Stafford is fourth with plus 4,000.
Okay, he did come back because, he was kind of banged up and all that.
Tua's
Okay.
fifth at plus 6,000. And Lamar Jackson is sixth with plus 20,000. But again, because he came back from an injury and now he's leading his team.
Yeah.
The comeback player of
Those
the year
are
is
bad.
not. It's not what it used to be. I know
Yeah,
what
it's
it
not
used
that.
to be,
No.
but that's
Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, to a lesser extent, because it's only a few games. I'm going Baker. Baker's the real comeback player of the year. The real comeback player of the year. You got to give it to Baker. Yeah.
Are these voted before the postseason, or how does this go
Yes,
through?
yes,
It ends before the postseason.
Yeah, it's the
So
postseason
Flacco
doesn't
doesn't have enough to, because like if he led them to a victory in the playoffs, I would say that ultimately he would end up winning it. I would think.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, but
Our
I'm
favorite.
dude. I'm giving it to Baker because his career was over. Okay, and the guy went there and had one heck of a year for him. So I would give it to Baker for sure. Yeah, just returning to. I'm with you, James. DeMar Hamlin didn't do enough. He hasn't really returned completely. He has to be a starter to say, okay, that's a comeback player of the year. Austin Jackson is a better comeback player of the year than everybody on that list except Baker. Way better. Baker's the only one that would be my pick. That's it. Dropped a pick 6 last year versus Lamar. Time to get another one today. Let's hope X starts to look a little better than he did last week, okay? Let's hope so. Alexander News Show, thank you for the super chat, even though it was a stupid one, but I thank you for the super chat. Let's see.
Save your brain cells. Stupid chat.
Pretty accurate. That's what I would go with. That's pretty accurate. What else do I want to talk about? And, I know that the other thing that everybody talks about today in this game is MVP. I don't care about the MVP. I don't care about Tyreek's 2,000 yards. I don't care about Jay Ajayi getting 1,200 yards, and I don't care about Ricky Williams getting 1,800 yards. And I don't care about this individual award or that individual award or any of that shit. We have been stuck with only individual awards for decades because that's all we ever had. We never really had a great team, one that could accomplish things in the playoffs. The Wildcat year, that was a bullshit year. It's nothing. It was, you made it to the playoffs, but you weren't really building anything. You weren't going to make any impact in the playoffs. The Jay Ajayi year, so you made the playoffs, but you weren't really building anything. You weren't really a team that was going to have an impact in the playoffs. The Dave Wannstedt years, you weren't really building anything because you never really had an offense ever. And, you had your individual moments with Jason Taylor or with Sam or Pat or Zach, or maybe a Ricky Williams year or two or something. But it was all about individuals. It was not about team. And that's one of the things that I love about this season and even last season, because I think that's where it started. And this year they've been able to fine tune it and get them better. I know they've had their share of injuries, but so does everybody else. Find a way to win. But to me, for the people that's the other storyline that I heard a lot of. Oh, well, then Tua takes the lead for the MVP. Dude, I don't give a shit about that. What's winning the MVP if you don't win in the playoffs? What's Tyreek getting 2,000 yards if you lose in the first round of the playoffs? What does it mean, dude? So Ricky Williams rushes for 1,800 yards. And what? And what? Because where we truly savor as fans is the team accomplishment, man. The individual accomplishment gets a golf clap. Oh, it's nice. Oh, it's pretty cool. Wow, Wade won the scoring title. Great. Wade won the title. Now that was awesome. You know, that's what it's all about. Oh, you know, JT got the sack title this year. Okay. Golf clap. Nice for JT. He's a hell of a player, Hall of Famer. What'd you win? Nothing. As great as that defense was, they never had an offense to complement them. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that I would say about today's game, the end of this season, the individual awards that are out there. I don't care. I've seen enough individual awards for the Dolphins over the last couple of decades. For me, it's about winning this game. It's about getting a number one seed. It's about topping what you did last week by beating the Ravens on the road, grabbing hold of the number one seed, and then next week, make it an even better week by beating the Bills. Hell, that could knock them out of the playoffs. And at the same time, it seals your fate as number one in the playoffs. Have the Bills locked in a spot, or could they get knocked out next week? They could. Or do they have to? Or do they lock in a spot by winning this week?
I think if they win this week, they lock in. But there are ways to where if they lose this week and lose next week, there's that mathematical chance that they don't make it.
Okay.
So a lot of things have to go. I think.
Okay.
They're leaning toward the playoffs.
Hard for them to lose this week because they're playing a shitty team. So.
I don't know, man. They don't show up for it.
No, I know. Yeah,
it's
that's
always
true.
a tough game for them.
But no,
it's like us and the Jets usually.
They're a different team right now. I'm as much as I hate the Bills, I'm gonna say they're playing with some fire right now, and you know they're gonna be a load to deal with. But I just really don't care about the individual awards. It does nothing for me, dude. Years later, Ricky Williams rushing title. What does it mean? Who gives a shit? It's a nice little thing. It's a nice little moment, but as a fan, what did it mean big picture? Nothing. And that's kind of what's been going on here for, a long, long time. Individual stuff. And it's not about the individuals, it's about the team. Because that's where the fans really come together. And that's what we need. We need more people going into the Hall of Fame that won titles, not great players that weren't supported in their franchise. And we've just watched Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas go in, well-deserved honors. They deserved better, and that pisses me off that Jason Taylor, that Dan Marino, that Zach Thomas, they go into the Hall of Fame, great individual honor. Those some bitches deserve the title. They all deserve the ring, one ring at least. And they didn't get it. And that to me is, that's unacceptable. So it's time to start accomplishing the team stuff. The individual stuff is nice, but long term, it just doesn't mean shit, dude. Like I've told you, this is, and I said it throughout the week here, the Dolphins haven't had a meaningful team in decades, over 25 years. This is the first time they've had a team that's actually meaningful, that can actually do something in the playoffs. Give us real memories about real team accomplishments. That would be very cool. Big O, where's your Dolphins hat? The Drew. You obviously don't listen, my brother. That's that happens a lot on this show. There's a lot of you out there that don't listen often. so you don't follow the things and the developments of the show and what we're doing from show to show, day to day. Some of you just listen to interviews, so you miss a lot of stuff that we talk about in between the segments, nuggets, news, stuff that we're doing. So there's a reason why I'm wearing the hat. So, you got to keep up, my brother. You got to keep up. Those that watch every week, they know the story. They know the storyline. So, got to keep up with the storylines, my man. Keep Lamar in the pocket, make him pass. That's the deal right there, baby. We're not signing Wilkins to a deal worth $22, $24 million. That would be incredibly dumb. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, as I've said on the show, those of you that actually listen to the show, not just segments or rants, I think that he needs to pick up sacks today. He didn't last week. Next week against the Bills. And when you get to the playoffs, that's where he's got to get his sacks. All of Wilkins' sacks have been against bad teams. They're not going to pay him the money when the guy next to him is getting paid half of what he's asking for and produces exactly what he produces. No shot Wilkins gets paid $22 million for his numbers. That's just my prediction. I could be wrong. So, at least Marino made it to a Super Bowl. Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Ricky Williams didn't even get close to sniffing a Super Bowl playing for us during their careers. They didn't have Marino, my brother. That's an important element, to Extreme. It helps to have Marino. You can't win it because Marino doesn't have a running game and a defense because he needs that help. But he's that good that he can get you to a Super Bowl. That's how good Marino was. That's how special Marino was, that he can get you to a Super Bowl, but he's not going to win it. So a defense to get you to a Super Bowl, let's be honest now. Okay? We're going to be honest? Are we going to be honest now? Okay, the Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas defense was one hell of a defense. It wasn't the no-name defense. It wasn't the Steel Curtain. It wasn't the Ravens of 01. Okay? Okay, are we clear on this? That was a great defense. That wasn't an all-time defense. That's a difference. When we talk about, the Steel Curtain, that's an all-timer. That is one of the greatest defenses of all time. And let's be honest, the late 90s defenses of the Dolphins, early 2000s, or the Steel Curtain? Come on, dude. The Doomsday defense or the Dolphins? The no-name defense or the Dolphins? The 01 Ravens or the Dolphins? The 03-02 Bucks or the Dolphins? You see what I'm saying? So that was a good defense, good enough to win a Super Bowl, but it wasn't an all-time defense. Okay? I'm just being brutally honest, that I hope you can handle that honesty. That was a great defense, not an all-time defense. Not by any stretch whatsoever. Good enough to win you a Super Bowl, but they were going to need an offense to get there. It wasn't like the Ravens that could carry you. Like the Denver Broncos of 16, something like that. Yeah, that Peyton year that he was terrible. He was horrible. And the Dolphin defense wasn't that good either. Just being honest. That's all I'm saying. So that's how good Marino was. If you watched him, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Mark Smith says, true, those defenses had some all-time players, but they weren't working as a team like some of the... No, Mark Smith, you're misunderstanding me. Dude, don't compare the late 90s, early 2000 Dolphins talent-wise to the Steel Curtain, talent-wise to the Doomsday Defense, talent-wise to the 01 Ravens. There's zero comparisons. Like zero. Nothing. There are no comparisons. Those teams were better, deeper. They had way more stars. Miami was led by 5 stars on that defense. Madison and Surtain, Zach, Timbo, and JT. Sakao. Over. Okay? Over. 5 guys. Not the burger place, the dudes. It was 5 dudes out of 11. 5. That's why it's not an all-time defense. Okay? Like the Ravens defense, so Ray Lewis is probably better than Zach, right? Whatever. Okay? And then what are we doing with Suggs? Suggs is better than the entire defensive core that the Dolphins have left over after Zach. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. I'm sorry. Terrell Suggs is better than all of the linebackers combined that played in Zach's entire career for the Miami Dolphins. Combined. Aren't better than Terrell Suggs. No, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Can I rephrase that again? All of the linebackers that played next to Zach Thomas aren't better than Terrell Suggs on one leg. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. So when we talk about that defense and we talk about Marino, shows you how special Marino was. Timothy Eason, thank you for the love in the super chat. Righto, wins are what we need. Bitcoin on CA cent. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, look at that. You already made my morning, my afternoon. Sending some love on Bitcoin. Did you send some Cash App? I don't see it. Don't see it. Did you send it on Venmo? I don't see it, but I appreciate it. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get it. Maybe it's in route, as they say. Finn Rule says, I've just seen on video Miami coming out of the locker room, and they look ready for war. We got this. I'll be fine. I took the Dolphins plus 3.5. When it was 3, I was waiting for that half point. And I got the 3.5, and I'm in, baby. I'm in. Let's see. Whatever happened to Greg Cox? Who's Greg Cox? Is he talking about Brian Cox? I know Brian. I don't know about Greg Cox, but I know Brian Cox. I know him well. He's a good dude.
There hasn't been a lot of Cox on the Dolphins, right?
No, I don't remember anybody but Brian, I think. Yeah, no. There's a, and I'm not lying, there's a meme coin that is blowing up in crypto. And it's COQINU. So yeah, it's literally called Cocking You. Oh, it's too funny. Mark Smith says, great, now I want a burger. Well, you should. Oh, the burgers here are awesome. Awesome. Morlon Greenwood was a Hall of Famer. Oh, he was blowing up the sidelines. Anybody remember that rap song from Morlon Greenwood, blowing up the sidelines? Adewale Agunleye. Yeah, he was a defensive end. But yeah. Yeah. Good dude, by the way. Agunlie was a really good dude. Was the Cash App name make? Yeah, it makes a difference. Cash Big O Show. It's Cash Big O Show is the name. Yeah, if you send it to the wrong name, another person gets it, and it won't be me. Yeah, I don't see it here, so you might have made a mistake. I'm so sorry. You might have sent it to somebody else. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Can we bring up Jamar Fletcher for the defense? Yeah, that's that was it. Mozzarella logs were amazing. Oh God, they are so good, so good. He's going to be ordering them right when we get off the air. He orders the Gator Bites and the mozzarella logs to start off. That's what he always orders, and I always steal one log. Always. Too Extreme says, Big O Sean, what happened to the insider guys you had who was a Kansas City fan? He's on every Wednesday. Matt Verderam. Too Extreme, my brother. You can't ask. You got to just go on to the YouTube page and just look. The interviews are all there, dude. They're all there. You know what I mean? You're a hardcore follower, bro. You should know. Brock Marion was just good. Yeah, he was all right. He wasn't anything special. No, he stood out more to me because he was an asshole. I mean, he was a jerk. That's what stood out more to me with Brock Marion. He was a jerk. But he wasn't as good as he was in Dallas when we got him. He was all right. It was 5 guys, bro. It's 5 guys, and it ended there. Nothing else.
Now I see why the guy said you said 5 guys. Now I want a burger.
Oh.
Now I got it. Now
5 guys,
yep,
the burger.
Yep,
I got
yep,
you. You should come here to walk. You should come here to walk-ons.
Yeah.
Burgers here are awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. A good chunk of Marion's prime, 86, 89, was wasted because Shula couldn't get the defense to be Marino's, you mean. Couldn't get, no. It's unfortunately the old man couldn't find a running game and couldn't find a defense. And he tried, dude. He tried with, what's it called? Overstreet. He tried with Sammy Smith. He tried to get like a featured back. You know, I know he had Higgy and Davenport and, serviceable guys and Nathan and all that. But he spent high picks and tried, Slorenzo Hampton was another draft pick. Yeah, I called him Slorenzo, yes. He wasn't necessarily too fast. Yeah, he tried. The old man tried, man. He just could not get it. He traded for Hugh Green, and Hugh Green blows out his knee. Like, we had no luck, too, on top of all of that. There were just moments, too, Overstreet dies, and, did he die? He died trying. Did David Overstreet die with a car running into a gas station, or was he the guy that died saving kids in a lake or something, or was that the Kansas City kid that did that? Now I'm forgetting. Now I'm kind of like mixing all that stuff up. David Overstreet. Yeah, David Overstreet. He died, and I forgot exactly how he died. Did he have a Mercedes running into a gas station, or he drowned saving a kid, or something like that? Or was that like, I'm wondering if that was JT Thomas or something from the Kansas City Chiefs that did that also, or maybe he also did it or something. It was Overstreet driving overnight, you think? What was it? Yeah, he fell asleep?
Yeah, he was going home, 1984, journey from South Florida back to his hometown of Big Sandy, Texas, driving his Mercedes. Fell asleep at the wheel. The car spun out of control and crashed into a row of gas pumps at a service station near his hometown.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I got that right. So then it was JT. So put Chief dies trying to save kids. JT Green, JT Thomas, something like that. So I'm getting those because so that's what it was. Overstreet with the Mercedes and the gas station, gas pumps, and then the guy from the Chiefs was the one that was trying to save kids.
Joe Delaney.
Joe Delaney. There it is. Joe Delaney.
Attempting to rescue 3 children from drowning. That was in 83, and then Overstreet was 84.
Am I how you know what I mean? Like I don't know how I store this stuff, dude. I really don't know how I store this stuff. I just don't know how I store it. It's just there. It's just there, you know? I got to just put the pieces to the puzzle together. Oh, man. I will have the merch up this week, I promise you. Okay? Definitely. Hopefully, I got so much crap going on. John's way ahead of me with the designing. I've got Alan ready to print, and I'm the guy that's kind of holding everything up. So it's a disaster. And that's me. It's my fault. Nobody else. Everybody else kicking ass, my fault. So anyway, I will fix that this week, I promise. Yeah, yep. 25 minutes to game time. I'm pumped. You should be, Todd. You should be pumped up. Mostert is out, so let's hope Achan, Wilson, and Brooks can carry the load. They elevated Melvin Ingram from the practice squad. Agba is inactive. Jalen Ramsey was limited on Friday. Looks like he's a go today. He will be playing. Rob Hunt was inactive, right? Rob Hunt was inactive. So I got 1 out of 2 because I didn't think Javon Holland would be active. So that tells me he sneakily didn't tell us that Mostert was worse than what it was thought, and that Javon Holland was way better than what we thought. So, you know, it goes both ways. Yes, sir.
I was going to say the starting offensive line setup right now is Armstead, Cotton, Eichenberg, Jones, Jackson.
I'm good. I'm good with that. Now, folks, this game's about playing smart. That's what this entire game is all about. 4 quarters of intelligent football. The physicality and the speed, they both have it, dude. I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about playing smart. Last week, the San Francisco 49ers did everything that a dumb team would do in order to lose games. You can't have turnovers. You can't have stupid penalties. You can't have the pre-snap penalties. And as for Mike McDaniel, you got to make good decisions out there. You got to make good fundamental decisions, the ones that are best for your team. You know, yesterday or last night, there's a part of me that I was hoping Mike McDaniel's watching Dan Campbell, because while Mike McDaniel is a superior X's and O's coach to Dan Campbell, I'm convinced of that. But he has a little Dan Campbell knucklehead in him where he will do things like he did last week when in that game early on in the first half, he had to take that field goal and not go for the 4th down, especially in back-to-back downs when you had injuries. It's kind of like the football gods sending you messages in those 2 downs, and it's like, yo, you're still gonna go for it? Like, yo, you know, like, just take the points right now. And those points were crucial at the end of that game. And professionally, they were able to overcome and put together that final drive, which was a great drive, one of the greatest drives in Dolphin history in the last 30 years, to be quite honest. Let's be honest. It was a man's drive. But today, you don't want to leave it to the last play of the game and the last drive. So how do you do that? You do that by playing smart. Intelligence is going to go a long, long, long way to win this game. I know you can be physical enough. I've seen your defense and I've watched your running game. I know you've got the IQ. I know you've got the talent on offense to score. I know you got the quarterback. I know you're getting your right tackle back. And I'm sure Eichenberg is only going to get better and better and better at center. So let's play smart. To me, that's the entire key to this game. You've got to play smart. You can't turn over the ball. You can't have the stupid penalties. And you can't make the mistakes. You can't blow coverages. You can't leave gaping holes and allow Lamar to escape. You got to have a disciplined type pass rush where you're able to keep him in check and force him to beat you with his arm. You do that, and I am convinced that the Miami Dolphins will come away with a victory today against the Baltimore Ravens. You turn over the ball, you start committing mistakes, you start committing pre-snap penalties. On the sidelines, you don't make the right decisions, you lose this game. You're not playing some slouch. You're playing a team that's really good. They're exceptional at home, and they know you've beaten them 2 straight years. Because I'm convinced John Harbaugh says, hey, you see your 12 wins don't mean shit. You've lost to this team twice. You've lost to this team twice with 2 different coaching staffs. And I'm sure John Harbaugh follows up with, I failed you, and you guys have failed yourselves. So they're going to be reminded over and over again. It doesn't matter what everybody thinks outside, because the perception nationwide is Baltimore's going to win this. Just like last week, San Francisco's going to kill Baltimore. Oh, no, Baltimore's too physical for Miami. No, they're not. But whatever you want to say, they've lost to them last 2 years. Miami's a finesse team. No, they're not. They actually are physical and finesse. They can do both. Reality is one thing. The perception is something completely different. But there is one reality today. IQ is everything in this game. One team is going to have an edge over another team in one area or another area, and we can play that stupid game, and in the end, it's going to kind of balance out. But the team that plays with the brains is the one that's going to get it done. Okay? That's the team that's going to end up being victorious. I guarantee you, today, at 4 o'clock when we start the postgame show, we're going to talk about, hey, the Dolphins played smarter today, and that's why they won. And we're going to say, hey, Baltimore lost because Miami forced them into this mistake. Baltimore committed that error, and that gave Miami a shot at this, that, whatever. And that's how we're going to end up breaking it down, because the mistakes are the ones that are going to determine this game. So let's hope that intelligence is used all the way through here. It's going to be big. Zay Flowers is in. OBJ in. Isaiah Likely, by the way, is the tight end that is filling in for Mark Andrews. And the rookie has actually done a nice job. He's got 26 receptions already, 338 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the season, that wouldn't be big numbers, but for a backup that was playing behind Mark Andrews and not playing a lot, so he has become a factor in this game. It'll be interesting to see how much they use him today. Tua, by the way, coming in with 4,214 yards, completing 70% of his passes, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Lamar Jackson, 3,357 yards, so nearly 900 yards less than Tua. 66% completion percentage, which is damn good. Once you get over 65 to 7 or 70 plus, You're in the elite category. So 66 is pretty damn good. He's got 19 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Obviously not as good as 26 and 10, but he adds the element of running. 786 yards and 5 touchdowns. So as much as they tell you he's not running, he's still nearly on pace for 1,000 yards. So he still runs. He will stay in the pocket a little bit more. Today's the game that you better keep him in that pocket. Zay Flowers has been an absolute revelation and a great draft pick for them. 74 receptions, 752 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is an exceptional route runner, man. OBJ's got 34 receptions for 532 yards and 5 touchdowns. Tyreek, of course, coming into the game, 106 receptions, 1,641 yards, and 12 touchdowns. The 2,000 yards is probably out of reach at this point. I mean, it's not impossible, but considering his injuries, he's not 100%. There's no Waddle out there. I think you got to use him in an intelligent fashion over the next couple of weeks and not overuse him, and got to keep him, pretty much as fresh as you can. So I don't think he's going to get the kind of action that he's had in the past. So I don't think he's going to end up with the 2,000, which for me, I told you, don't care about the individuals. Let's get the team accomplishment going. Okay? No Waddle today, as you all know. Waddle's already crossed 1,000 yards and he's got 4 touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns for Waddle this year. And Ian Rappaport reported this morning that Jalen Waddle is expected to be ready for the playoffs, which would make a lot of sense. This is why winning the number 1 seed would be awesome, because that would buy Waddle 2 more weeks of rest. The bye week and the week leading up to the game would be really, really big for Waddle if you can win these next 2 games. Big O, do you think Hamilton being out will create more big plays? Hell yeah, dude. Hamilton is, outside of Zay Flowers, no, Hamilton is a bigger loss than Zay Flowers. That's a huge loss for him. That's their captain, man. That's the guy that runs that secondary. He's the number 1 star of that secondary. So I would say, yeah. Yeah, the Hamilton thing is huge for Miami. Maybe Smythe, maybe Claypool become bigger factors because of that. Yes, it was always a national CBS game. Yes, sir. Big O, wait another season before giving McDaniel a 10-year contract, or you have seen enough. So, first of all, why am I thinking about that right now? We're in the 2nd year of a 5-year contract. I don't understand some of you out there that you're worried about something that has nothing to do with today, tomorrow, next week, next year. There's the guy's under contract for 3 more seasons. There's no hurry to even think about that kind. Why are you thinking about that in the middle of the biggest game in 30 years for the Miami Dolphins? You're worried about a contract extension for McDaniel that he hasn't earned yet. I don't understand that. Why do you even want to have that debate or discussion? Some of you are kind of odd. Likely not. Oh, that's right. He is a 2nd year. You are correct. You're correct. Thank you for that correction, Jamie. Appreciate you. I'm at walk-ons. Who do I tell that I came because of you guys? Thank you, Green Lion, wherever you're at. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just tell the waitresses that you want tickets when you're ordering food and all that, and we'll come by the tables and say hi to folks throughout the game. Let's see. I am not scared of the Ravens. I'm just nervous that McDaniel will get pass happy and not spread the ball around. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope he spreads it around. And James is right. Smash the hell out of that like button. Charles says, I'm a Notre Dame fan, Big O, and Kyle Hamilton is a monster, the best player in the Baltimore D by far. He's the captain, dude. He's the top guy back there. It's a huge loss for them. Hell of a player. 38-24, Finns win with an air raid attack, and would not surprise me with a more traditional West Coast offense with some McDaniel trickery. All plays on deck today. Chase Claypool, 100-plus yards. Wow. Damn. Chase Claypool. Give him a 4-year contract. Extension, yes. Bradley Maddox, I'm 63, but I'm giddy about the opportunity for us today. Going to be fun to watch from North Texas. Enjoy the game, win or lose, Fins up. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me check here one more time. Oh, wait a minute. We got some Bitcoin. Timothy Eason. Thank you, sir. He says, thank you. Hopefully correct this time. Yes, you got it, baby. Thank you. I appreciate you, Timothy. That is very nice. You know I love my Bitcoin donations, man. That is my favorite right there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we want to thank Yanira and all the great people out here at Walk-Ons as always. Sean Stanley, who drives this and masters this entire platform. We thank all of you that tuned in. Those of you that are out here with us here at Walk-Ons, a bunch of you have already come by to say hi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I already saw a true Finn fan. I already saw Josh, Jeff. So some of you already come by to say hi. So appreciate all of you out there and already bringing gifts and everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate all of you out there. We will see you post-game. The second the game is done, our post-game show starts. Join us out here at Walk-Ons. We'll be giving out prizes starting at the end of the first quarter, end of the second quarter and halftime, end of the third quarter, and the 2-minute warning. We'll have all kinds of prizes, giveaways, Big O T-shirts, all kinds of stuff, Caneswear, Perdomo, all kinds of stuff. We'll see you for post-game. And listen, Dolphins 29, Baltimore Ravens 17. Moving on to the number 1 seed. We'll see you post-game. Have a good one out there. Fins up.
This has been the EJD Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.